Hello everybody, my name is Kate Olaf and welcome to my channel. Whew, today's topic, high school. When you're in it, it feels like an eternity, but as soon as you graduate, it feels like time just flies by. For this week's video, I went on my Instagram and asked the simple question, what do you regret not learning in high school? And the reason that I asked this specific question is because I wanted to see if people's regrets were because of their lack of courage to try new things, or if the high school that they went just did not offer the knowledge that they needed. For instance, if someone regrets not taking robotics class in their high school, then to me that would just be a lack of courage. And depending on the circumstance, maybe it's not a lack of courage. Maybe they've come to realize that after high school, robotics is something that actually interests them. But they didn't know that in high school, so they never tried it, which is understandable. But if someone wanted to learn about stocks and how to invest in the stock market and their school didn't offer that kind of program, I'd say that that's a regret that you can somewhat blame on the school. And the reason that I say you can somewhat blame the school is because, let's be honest, nowadays, you can pretty much learn anything you want online. But for the purpose of this video, let's stick to blaming the school system. So from this point on, I'm going to be reading some of the regrets from my followers and determining whether or not their regrets are because it's a lack of courage or because it was based on a lack of schooling. Now, last time I checked, everyone who responded to my story actually went to my high school, so I should be able to determine whether or not the school is at fault. So without further ado, let's jump into the first follower's regret. The first regret is that friends were more important than boys. I'm going to keep the names of people who responded confidential, that way no one gets embarrassed. So the first regret, that friends were more important than boys, I think that's probably not really a lack of courage and not really the lack of schooling. Maybe that's just a lack of common sense. I don't know. Next one. How to do my taxes. This is a huge lack of schooling, and I can say from a personal level that my school definitely did not teach us how to do this. I personally still don't even really know how to do my taxes the right way, let alone once you start making your own businesses and things of that nature, how to do your taxes correctly, that way you're saving as much money as possible. I think that we can all agree that learning how to do your taxes is something every school should teach. The next one, math. Okay, it's just funny when you know who responds to these things. It really makes sense. So math. It's probably not a lack of schooling. This person, because I know them, probably just didn't pay attention in school. So for that one, I wouldn't say it's a lack of courage or a lack, no, maybe it is a lack of courage. Not putting yourself out there and really trying to learn, probably just being lazy. The next regret someone said is how to treat others with kindness and compassion. Now, I don't know if that's really a lack of courage or a lack of schooling. That seems like another common sense one. I don't know. Whether leasing or owning a car is better. That's a really good one. Again, that kind of goes back to the taxes regret that I would say it's a lack of schooling. You know, schools don't teach these things. At least mine didn't. Simple life lessons. Leasing a car or owning a car. Personally, if you want to know which one is better, buy a used cheap car cash. That is the best way to go about getting a car. I just did a video on this. If you basically want to know why buying a cheap used car is better for you, a better option, go check out my video, why I bought my car cash, the Kia Sportage, baby. Same person had also a regret of not learning how to buy a house. This is so crucial. I think schools should really teach kids how to prepare themselves in order to buy a house. I think owning real estate, owning land, is the best investment you can ever make. But you can't just go out, find a great real estate agent like myself and say, listen, I want to buy a house. It doesn't really work that way. There is a process that can take years of preparation in order for you to be able to finance and qualified to be able to get a home. Schools can do a better job of this. They can teach you the steps that are necessary to take in order to start working towards home ownership. This is a big lack of schooling, and it's a shame. It's a shame. This person also regrets proper personal budgeting skills. I think I took financial education my senior year, and I think my teacher kind of tried to teach these things, but it just wasn't good. Wasn't good at all. Didn't know what she was doing. I've learned so much more in my 2 years being out of high school than my 4 years in high school. Budgeting, personal budgeting, that is a lack of schooling, a major lack of schooling, right? You need to know how to budget. You need to know how to budget. I cannot stress that enough. If you can't manage $100, you can't manage $1 million. People want to be rich. 90% of them aren't going to do it. They're not going to do it because they can't budget. They can't control themselves. It's a discipline, and that budget can help you stay disciplined. So that's a big lack of schooling that needs to be taught. That should be mandatory in school, a budgeting class, just straight budgeting. Next one. Almost everything required for living, someone said. That's funny, because it's true. It's really true. Next one. Not learning how to handle money / anything about the importance of saving. This is a lack of schooling. Again, I guess this whole video we can just blame the school system for our problems. No, but really, this is something I think schools can do a better job at. For my school, like I said before, we had that financial education senior year. It was awful. It didn't help anyone one bit. All right, next one is a blank. Someone literally just put a blank, just replied with nothing on there. So I'm gonna go with lack of courage on that one. All right, next one. This person's regret was not learning realistic ways of making money. That's true. I would say that's another. Boom, lack of schooling, because high school really just teaches you how to go to college. That's really all it's intended to do. So yeah, I would say that's a lack of schooling, not having the proper teachers and mentors in schools to really help you figure out what you want to do and not just send you off to college. All right, next one. This person regrets not learning about all the different possibilities / options there are once you're out of high school. Again, I think this is a lack of schooling, and not so much the actual school system, but a lack of mentors and teachers within the school system. And this is the problem I have with high school and just schools in general, listening to teachers and things. Right? Say you want to be a business person. You want to own your own business. Say you want to own your own restaurant, right? And that's what you want to do. You've had a dream since you were a kid. You can do that. You can do anything you set your mind to. Teachers are only gonna advise you with what they know. You're getting advice from people who have never done what you want to do. You should be going out, finding someone who's done that, who's built a reputable business of restaurants. Find that person and ask them to mentor you and shadow them and maybe help their business grow so you can take what you learned there and go start it someplace else. Like, that's who you should be asking and getting advice from, not teachers. They've never even done that. That's the problem. That's the problem. Put kids in curriculums that they're more interested in, right? So if this kid wants to start his own restaurant, you have mentors and teachers in school who have connections to restaurateurs. I think that's a word, like restaurateurs, people who start their own restaurants. I gotta look this up now. Hold on. Restaurant, how do you spell that? Restaurateurs. Restaurateurs? Restaurateurs? How do you say that?
Restaurateur.
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 Restaurateur. A person who owns and manages a restaurant, right? So the high school teachers and mentors and counselors should bring in restaurateurs and let them talk to the kid, see if that's something he wants to do. But high schools don't do that. They just want to send you off to college, make you get some business degree that you're never going to need. Next one. This person regrets not learning what truth is. Again, I think that goes back to what we've been talking about this whole time. High school doesn't really set you up for, the realities of the world. This person also said they regret not learning how to budget. Boom, big one, already covered that. Budgeting is so crucial. High schools should literally have their own class for budgeting. The last one of this video, the last regret, this person's regret not learning, is film and editing. Now, this person who commented that, I went to high school with them, so I know them. Film and editing, we did have a film class in my high school, so this person, I would probably say theirs would be a lack of courage, definitely. But who knows, maybe this person figured out they liked filming and editing after high school and they just regret not doing it in high school. But if they liked it in high school and they just didn't do it, that would be a lack of courage to me, because I know this person, I know we had it in school, and it was a pretty good program from what I remember. So, I think that's all the responses. What are we at? 17 minutes? Good lord. Thank you to everyone who responded. If I do more of these Instagram stories, please respond to them. It makes it more fun to see what you guys have to say, because I can create really cool content for you. So that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, follow me on my socials, Kate Olaf. I think I say it enough. And as always, I'm Kate Olaf, and I will see you in the next one.